They own all of this.
I have a ship. So,
wave at Kathy.
I'll take you up.
My daughter came in last night.
He had to figure it out, but my house, son, so hey,
They got there about 11:30.
all I really got
Got up. Granddaughter got up at 6.
I never told you really is.
I got up. Made it for breakfast. That's all.
No. We're just coming this way. I wanted you out of the street.
Yep.
I'm with the Teamsters Union, and I'm the president of the Iowa City Federation of Labor. We're here for a very important cause with a very simple message. And our message is to tell Penford and Ingredient to stop the war on workers. We're here today to stand with our brothers and sisters with BCTGM Local 100G and tell Penford that we want a fair contract. An attack on workers is an attack on our community. An attack on workers is an attack on our families. An attack on workers is an attack on the future generation. This plant is successful because the workers make it successful. I want to introduce the president of BCTGM Local 100G, Chris Eby.
Good afternoon, Cedar Rapids. My name is Chris Eby. I'm the president of BCTGM 100G, representing the workers at Ingredient. I'm a 24-year employee. In March, an outside company that's headquartered in Illinois bought Penford products for approximately $340 million. The prior Penford board of executives received large payouts, and some of which received cushy jobs with the new company. What we didn't know was that these outsiders were going to come into Cedar Rapids 3 months later and ask the workers to pay for all this. On about July 30th of this year, an interview with Eileen Gordon, CEO of Ingredion, was published in a national magazine where Eileen bragged how Penford's purchase had contributed immensely to Ingredion's bottom line. All of this without one single concession. To top it off, on the same day, Eileen exercised almost 34,000 shares in stock options, netting almost $2 million. The next day, Ingredion gave the workers a final offer with over 100 concessions. On August 1st, Ingredion, your workers said no. No to permanent two-tier wage scale. No to robbing them of their seniority. No to taking their vacation. No to retirement theft. And hell no to gutting our contract, a contract that has a 67-year-old history of working together. Ingredion, we say no to destroying a relationship that has helped both parties achieve our goals. Ingredion, we have asked for you to hear our voices, but it appears these calls for open negotiations have fallen on deaf ears. In early August, you told the media that you were looking forward to the next round of negotiations. After 10 minutes of discussion, we waited on you for over 24 hours for a response. Instead of negotiating, you came back with a last best final. Your vice president released a notice exercising 10,000 stock option shares while we were waiting. Ingredion, with the next negotiation set for next week, who else is exercising their shares off the backs of the real workers? Eileen, your workers in this community sent you a 3-foot postcard asking you to treat the workers fairly. Eileen, the fact that we have not received a response suggests only that it must be lost on your desk. Just a few short weeks ago, I stood out in front of this plant and I told Ingredion 2 things. And both of them have come true. One, Ingredion, I told you those 22 members forced to make the retirement decision would not go away. That our friends and our family would only grow. Ingredion, look around at our family. Here. This community came together 2 years ago for Penford product for the sale of this very part for good jobs, not to be taken advantage of. And the second thing I told you, Ingredion, I told you my members will stand. They will stand for their principles. They will stand for their identity. They will stand for their community. They will stand for their union. They will stand for their families over kneeling to beg for the rights we have now, kneeling to beg for the breadcrumbs, kneeling to beg for respect, and kneeling to beg contract to contract. Ingredion, these workers are willing to compromise on the issues, but we will never compromise our values.
That's right.
Eileen, not long ago you said in an interview that you were living the dream. Eileen, does your dream come at the expense of the dreams of your workers, their children, their grandchildren, their community? We say no. Thank you to the groups who organized this rally on my local's behalf. Thank you to all of you who came to show your support. And thank you to the Honorable Senator Bernie Sanders.
Yeah!
and the talk, but it's come out to prove it's about walking the walk. Thank you. God bless. And with that, a few words from my Vice President, Matt Moss.
Good afternoon, friends. I'm not going to take a lot of time here, but I think there's some very important people we need to thank. We need to thank the Honorable Bernie Sanders for coming here today to support our cause. I also want to give a big shout out to the people who have supported us and committed to getting out the word about our cause to the community. People like Steffi Lee from Channel 2, Channel 9, Channel 7's been great. We thank you all. You're getting a great word out to the community about what's going on here at Penford Product. Before I continue, I also want to thank the employees who keep this plant running, some of which are standing right out there in their uniform. They're coming out to support us even though we're making new work. With that, I'm Matthew Moss. I'm Vice President of BCTGM 100G, representing the outstanding workers at Penford/Ingredion here in Cedar Rapids. As a retired veteran with over 23 years military experience, I woke up this morning, as I do every day, thankful that I woke up in this country. Yeah. Unfortunately, Ingredion apparently doesn't feel the same way. As one of their concessions, they want to take away Veterans Day as a recognized holiday. It's disgusting and it's sickening. Standing here now, I'm so thankful also to be in the presence of a great community supported by our families and friends. Throughout negotiations, Ingredion has shown an unwillingness to actually negotiate in good faith. Contrary to the public statements made by Clara Reagan, this was solidified during our last scheduled session when Ken Meadows had us wait about 25 hours. And then he re-emerged and presented us with a last, best, and final offer. This last, best, and final offer was very similar to the ones our members voted on August 1st, which they overwhelmingly rejected by a 95% no vote. This committee and our members are willing to work towards a fair contract that respects the sacrifices made by the employees, both present and past. On that note, I am asking that Eileen Gordon, the President and CEO of Ingredion, attend next week's negotiation sessions to see firsthand our willingness to actually negotiate and Ken Meadows' unwillingness to negotiate a fair contract. I can't thank you enough for showing up to support our cause. Thank you for attending. God bless you. God bless your families. And God bless these United States of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're blessed to have a very supportive Labor Council here in the city, Hawkeye Labor Council, and I'm going to give you the Executive Director, Rick Moore.
As Chris said, I'm the Executive Director of the Hawkeye Labor Council, AFL-CIO here in Cedar Rapids. And again, gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce to you someone who I consider a friend. Not only a friend to me, but a friend to you, and a friend to every working American. United States Senator Bernie Sanders, for over 30 years, has been one of the nation's most persistent voices defending the interests of the working class and standing up to the excess of corporate America. No one in the nation over the past 30 years has focused more attention on the critically important yet rarely discussed issue of the growing gap between the rich and everyone else in the United States than Bernie Sanders has. Bernie has worked tirelessly in his tenure on the issues that affect the needs of the people the government often ignores: working families, the middle class, the elderly, our children, and the poor. Now, it's a great honor to introduce a man who has dedicated his life to standing up for working people and the middle class. Ladies and gentlemen, our friend, United States Senator Bernie Sanders.
Very much for standing together, not just for yourselves, but for workers throughout the United States of America. What we are all saying, and I can't say it any better than Jesse, Chris, and Matthew and Rick have said, we are sick and tired of the war against working families. I know, all of you know, I'm here in Iowa, I'm running for president, but I want you to know that being out on a picket line and standing with workers is something that I have been doing for my entire life. I did it when I was mayor of the city of Burlington, did it in Congress, did it in the Senate. This is what I do. This is what I believe. Here, Bill Vermonti has been with me for 25 years, and in between, what he did is organize unions with the AFD. This is what we do. So I got a statement for Ingredient, and that is, when you sit down and you negotiate, it's not a take it or leave it proposition. You can't get it all. And I am here today to strongly urge the leadership of Ingredient and Eileen Gordon to sit down at the negotiating table and to negotiate in a serious way. You are not serious when you tell the union that you want lower wages, when you want longer hours, when you want cuts in vacation time, when you want to tell workers they can't celebrate the Veterans Day. That's not serious. You're not going to cut overtime pay, and you're not going to cut pensions. And the sad reality, it would be one thing to say, isn't it a terrible thing what Ingredient is doing here? But all of you know that this is going on all across the country. We're seeing working people working for longer hours, for lower wages. We're seeing workers forced to work 2 or 3 jobs just to feed their families. We're seeing cuts in health care. We're seeing cuts in wages. We're seeing our jobs being shipped to China and other low-wage countries. I don't believe that it's too much to ask that working people in this country get decent wages and decent benefits. The reason that the middle class of this country is disappearing, the reason that we see massive income and wealth inequality, such that the top 1/10 of 1% owns almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%. the reason that we're seeing almost all new income and wealth going to the top 1% is because of corporate greed, which is what we are seeing here today. How much do these people need? Who can tell me that it is fair that you have a CEO making over $7 million a year who wants cuts to the pay and benefits their workers receive? That's wrong. Who with a straight face can tell me that it is reasonable that the CEO of this particular company has a guaranteed severance package, that if she is terminated, she will get $28 million? When they want to cut vacation time and wages and health care for American workers. Nobody thinks that is right. Everybody knows that is greed, and everybody knows that that greed is destroying the United States of America. And I think, as previous speakers have pointed out, this type of war against workers not only impacts those of you who are working in the plant, it impacts these kids. Their ability to get a higher education, their ability to live with dignity. So what we have got to do, microphone or no microphone, we have got to stand together. Tell this company that greed is not acceptable, that they are going to sit down and negotiate a fair contract with the union. When you stand together here in Cedar Rapids, you are not only protecting the people in this community, you're sending a message to working people all over this country that we will stand together and fight for workers' rights and workers' dignity.